Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ian, and we're back with more Superman and Lois. And last episode was such... this whole show's been fantastic, but man. Like, Elizabeth Tulik, I think I'm saying her last name right. God, her and no, it's funny, because let's see. Jordan, the guy that plays Jonathan. They both did a fantastic job. Her in that scene with the therapist, though. I wish for some reason I didn't bring that up. Really, I brought more up when it was both her and Jordan or Jonathan's. Lois's and Jonathan's part. I brought that up more than just her part alone with the therapist. But oh god, she just did fantastic. Anyway, that was like her story. That episode was hard. But we've kind of cleared things up with John Henry Irons. And Sam told Clark about the whole kryptonite stash and their weapons they were making, and that he's going to be, working on building trust back. So that's an improvement, and shows. They're apparently, at least that the working theory from Lois is that they're putting Kryptonian sentience into people, and that's what's creating these people. It's not, they're using the Kryptonite X to do that instead of, in the comics, I think it was just the Kryptonite X alone kind of giving temporarily Kryptonian abilities. A little scarier, which is worrisome, is like what might have happened on John's Earth is maybe they took over, they put another sentience into Clark's body, maybe. And they've got their their next 5 test subjects the first 5 in Smallville, anyway. Yeah, Kyle's a little, we didn't really go too much into that, as, his interaction with Lana afterwards. Like, there was like a small bit, but it was more like, not too openly. And I don't think John's going to be in the show for a little bit. I mean, we're only 16 episodes, so maybe just this episode, maybe he'll come back next, or maybe 2 episodes. Either way, he'll be gone for a little bit. And everybody's gonna now kind of everybody's focused on Morgan and even Sam, so hopefully that'll help. This is Kyle. No, please. Bard.
Why is Edge here? I mean, why Smallville?
Things improve for a little bit. It's the same crap as always. And then he crashes. Like your brother's about to.
What?
I told you, stay away from Tegan Wickham.
Why?
Just trust me, okay?
Uh-oh. She no good? She manipulative? I hope not. For his sake. Fudge. Oh, well, hopefully we saw that, Clark. Oh, jeez. Surrender. Let's call that kryptonite. What happened there? Oh, the gas. Shoot. Prolonged exposure. Uh-oh. Oh, god dang it. Oh, god. Come on. Reboot. Reboot, Clark. It's alright, just a long night. Needed a power nap. It's just lulling them into a false sense of security, guys, that's all.
¿Usted se encarga? ¿Estás bien? Estaré bien.
My experience of truth is rather subjective. Who do you think people are more likely to believe? A has-been slumming it at the local paper, or the man who's giving this town the best economy it's ever known?
Are you here?
In the kitchen.
We got a problem.
Oh my god,
Morgan
still
Edge is
bruised?
ramping up that program of his. Oh my god, what happened?
I went to stop this bank robbery and I got hit.
Did they use kryptonite?
No, regular bullets.
Bless you.
Uh-oh.
I
God dang it. No. It's like, and it's kind of like how Clark in Smallville had it.
well, I'm not that bad.
Oh.
This wasn't supposed to happen.
Really? Because it sure seems like a weapon designed to hurt Superman would hurt Superman.
It was only meant as a last resort, just to weaken him, temporarily.
Then why is my son sick?
Jonathan, he's gonna be fine.
Dad, that does not seem fine. It's getting harder to breathe. What is happening to him?
We can't wait for your dad.
Fortress? Okay.
Knowingly and willingly endangering the lives of the people I love? I can't forgive that. So when this is over, I want you to leave and never come back. You're not welcome here anymore.
We're gonna have to burn the kryptonite out of your system.
Burn it out.
With heat. With some immense heat.
No.
Listen to me. This is the only way, okay?
Dad, I'm scared.
I'm gonna be right here. You're gonna take my hand, okay? You're gonna squeeze as hard as you need to, okay?
Think about Sarah.
You can do this.
Good to see you.
Maybe Kyle can go help this time?
I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Yes, you can. It's just like being at home, okay?
You get this so fast.
Jonathan, you haven't seen the things I have.
Yeah, you're right. But in the end, I don't think that would matter. Because I'd still trust them. And you'd still be a coward.
Well, I know I
Emily, where are you going? Avery's not done yet.
I'll be right back. That was weird.
Yeah.
Let me go see what's wrong.
Wait, Kyle.
Please tell me Kyle's not like...
That's it. That's it. It's over. That's it. It's over. You're done. Hey, you did it, okay? Hey. I'm proud of you. You all right? Come here. I'm proud of you. Come on, stand up. Stand up.
What do you mean you don't know how long it'll affect him?
Sam better not die.
Hey, Mom, I think it's for you.
Lois, I'm worried. What if he does something?
Mom?
Lois?
She shouldn't have called.
Lois.
Not this time.
Get out of here! Keep hitting this till he comes. It's all we can do.
No. We need to go to the barn.
I'll keep him busy.
Sam?
You took his weapons?
Well?
Kyle?
I just came from the performance. Lana was scared. What's going on?
I just sent people to kill me.
It's not gonna happen.
I hope Kyle's just Kyle. Uh-oh. Well, he's unconscious. He's unconscious.
Targets first.
Kyle.
Pretty good with that thing.
No!
He's not just gonna kill you, Lois. He wanted you to suffer first.
Lois, we're gonna stay here till this is over. As of now, you, the boys, Clark, Smallville. That's my priority.
Good. Because that war John Henry Irons was talking about, I think it's about to happen.
Something happened to me tonight.
He doesn't know.
I was at the performance, and we were talking to Sarah, and then I blacked out. Next thing you know, I'm out in the middle of a field, somewhere outside of town, and my ribs.
Did Morgan Edge make you an offer?
Derek Powell's from New Carthage. Reno Rossetti's from Metropolis.
David Fugelsdad and Leslie Lawyer from Smallville.
When Derek Powell killed himself, what did he say to you?
He was already dead.
And his powers were fritzing.
When I landed here, there were meteor showers all over the world for an entire week.
Right, remnants of Krypton, that's why there's kryptonite.
Right,
People are
every form of
affected.
kryptonite. And the kind that landed here is buried in the mines. It's your ELT.
Edge.
I'm glad you came.
Everything you're doing is gonna stop.
Did you really think I'd be giving people powers without having them myself? You see, I got mine the same time you did, Kal-El, when I arrived on this planet. I think it's time you learned the truth about who I am and where I'm really from. Brother.
Whoa! Okay, done. Okay. Not Zod, but still. I don't know. I just thought maybe like he had used Zod's his mind, but that wouldn't make sense. I don't know about that. But I trust the show. So they've been keeping his powers on the down low for years. There hasn't been any kind of sighting or speculation or anything of this guy. That's not okay. Why do you call him? Did you just call him brother because of they're from Krypton? Was Morgan Edge not Kryptonian on the other Earth, where John came from? Did he not see Morgan Edge? Because he said that Morgan Edge was part of the issue, but it wasn't the main part of the problem that Superman was. But if he had known that Morgan Edge had powers in the first place, that he was a Kryptonian, then I would think that he wouldn't just throw him aside as a problem. Unless it was just because he, like their Superman, kind of like lower their defenses on him. But it makes sense why specifically Smallville though. I don't know how. I never even thought about it. The people that were not infected necessarily, but were exposed for the longest time by kryptonite, by the radiation, would be those of Smallville. And, that was a huge thing in the Smallville show. People freaking being affected by the meteor rocks, or meteor freaks. Or no. Yeah, they're meteor freaks, I think is what they're called. I think that's what they're called. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they were called. They were called meteor freaks because they would get abilities or mutations because of the explosion, or in some cases consumption, various usings of kryptonite. Was what's his face, was it Marcus? Her son, was he not exposed as long? Or is he not from Smallville? God dang it. Now Kyle's affected. Shoot. But they don't know. I mean, obviously they wouldn't know. It's a freaking another sentience that I'm assuming just doesn't communicate with them, which would be freaky. But oh man, Kyle. I was wondering how he got there so fast. I'm like, I don't. Uh-oh, is that insinuating something? And that means that they have access to their memories then? The Kryptonian sentients, do they have access to their hosts' memories? I mean, it would make sense. I just didn't know if they did, because I mean, freaking the host isn't even aware that there is something else in their head. I mean, but then again, maybe they have a weird feeling, but they don't know how to. Like, how would you compare that to something? Like, nobody's felt a second, like an actual second personality, like from somebody else implanted into you. So, well, in this world, maybe. Comics are a thing. So I don't. There has to be a way to pull them out. They can't just be gone. Like, first it was worried about Emily. I felt bad for her and her family. Like, they would lose their mother and wife. Well, I don't know if they had one kid. Her mother. They would lose their loved one. Now Kyle's been scooped up because he wanted to be better for his family. God dang it, Kyle! Why did you have to make me like you so that this? Well, I still would have felt bad if it happened in the very first episode, but mainly because of Sarah and Lana. But like, I feel worried for Kyle. Like, he's just trying to do this for them. God, there has to be ways that we can. He can't just die. We know that they're not just gonna like Marcus guy. At least I'm assuming. Maybe it's more like a likely. There's more of a chance that they won't combust or whatever. Maybe it's still a possibility. But either way, he said that it'll be a few days before you have full control. And it makes sense. I kept wondering like why Lar was so afraid of Edge. Like, she could literally fry him in an instant. So I thought, not the case. He's had his powers longer. Like, he's actually had years to freaking get used to them and train, or I don't know, train, but to use them. These people, I don't know how long. Like, where is he getting the sentience? So he has to. I'm wondering how he even had access to the sentience of Kryptonians. Makes a lot more sense now. Everything makes so much more sense now as to why and how he's doing certain things. Like how he'd even be intelligent enough to freaking be able to transfer a sentience into another person's body. Because Kryptonians are way more advanced. Even if you weren't a scientist, I mean, I don't know how smart this guy is, but I mean, I'm assuming he has to be somewhat intelligent to be able to pull this off in the first place. Like, did he have like a? They were apparent. I mean, supposedly, I'm assuming that he doesn't have their bodies, so he has to have their consciousness stored somewhere. But how? Where? Where did he keep it? Like, I was thinking maybe like, when Brainiac shrinks a world and puts it in those jars or whatever. But that wouldn't work for this. Like, you would still have, if that were the case, he'd have their bodies and they wouldn't need hosts. Unless their bodies were, for some reason, beyond repair. And they needed a new host, a new body. So he can't, well, he hasn't been near Kryptonite X, or Kryptonite, so Kryptonite X doesn't hurt Kryptonians. Makes sense, he's supposed to give like somehow transfer them. But kryptonite could hurt Edge now. Now, I understand we're going to jump a little bit to a different topic. That I understand I super understand where Jonathan and Lois are coming from, like, and the whole family, really. Like, I understand, like, this is what has happened to Clark, which I didn't expect to have such a lingering effect. What has happened to him and what happened to Jordan is terrible, and she has every right to be upset. It's her kid that her father had inadvertently put in danger. But having these weapons, whether they were to, like, I understand they should be necessarily afraid of your family. But this, I mean, Clark wasn't his family originally, so that's one thing. But, you know, having the grandson shouldn't be, you know, that's a different story. But there are other Kryptonians that they've dealt with. They've dealt with them before. They've dealt with Zod, and I'm sure there've been other instances in this world where a Kryptonian has, like, there are other Kryptonians that aren't good. So, like, those could be used against those people, like that, and the fact that John Henry Irons brought up that there's going to be a war incoming in the first place, having these weapons is kind of a necessity. So, like, I get where they're coming from, but Sam's kind of not necessarily wrong in what he's doing. He has to prepare for anything to protect the planet. And unfortunately, there are, someone like Superman, there's not a whole lot that can be done. So kryptonite creating weapons based off of, powered or using kryptonite is the only way. And the fact that he made this, the aerosol thing, to just weaken him in the first place is a measure that Sam didn't have to take. It's a very gray area in this situation. Like, I'm not necessarily saying it's not easy to make weapons that are specifically designed to hurt those like your family. And his intention was, to prepare in case of Superman specifically went bad as well. But there are other Kryptonians out there. Even though it's kind of, Clark had thought before that he was the last Kryptonian, but there's always some other new Kryptonian that keeps popping up. So yeah, and then those aren't necessarily Kryptonian that are from a cousin planet or sister planet, whatever you want to call it. A neighboring planet, that's the term I was trying to use. A neighboring planet that are similar in their abilities, and their weaknesses would be similar as well, if not the same. So it's a sticky, gray situation that I'm kind of on Sam's side in a way, God dang it! It's just that I don't know. Unfortunately, they took precautions that it wouldn't affect. That it couldn't, put Superman in harm's way. But, Sam couldn't have been prepared for, hey, somebody's putting Kryptonian sentience into my people, into my soldiers. He couldn't have known that. Unfortunately, that's what happened. So, and I was wondering, I wasn't sure why they showed the previously. I should have kind of at least thought that it would have had some kind of. I thought maybe that they were just going to bring the weapons back into, bring that subject up into the show, which they did. But I didn't know it was it's had more of a lingering effect on Clark. I wonder if it's still there, because he apparently is still weakened by even after the gunfire in Mexico, which that freaked me out. I was wondering for a second what's going on. He's like for some reason I was thinking did somebody have an aerosol agent there, but my brain didn't connect. As it was what had hit him earlier is what was affecting him. So, and luckily it didn't super it didn't make him completely vulnerable. That would have sucked. He was just excessively pelted by bullets, and the fact that they lingered as long as they did, that they were the bruises lingered as long as they did, is saying something. So like the fact that his healing wasn't kicking in really. I mean the fact that it didn't pierce him is very fortunate. Like it's a very weakened synthetic version of kryptonite, but it wasn't supposed to stay as long as it had. Hopefully that's kind of out of the system now, or maybe being at the fortress they could have done something. Speaking of which, like the fact that it affected Jonathan, I didn't think that it was making him sick, which makes sense though. It sucks. Like it was kind of it was contagious. I can't think of the word I was trying to think of. But yeah, it was actually transferable like a virus, and it affected Jordan unfortunately very differently, to where he was it was filling his lungs with unfortunately an immense amount of liquid because of the fact what he can do, and that it was freezing it within his lungs. And I thought it was at first it was like it just kind of reminded me of Smallville as well, like the show Smallville. There's an episode where I think Clark he's doing a lot. He's doing a lot around the world trying to help protect and save people. Natural disasters I think occurring. He's just doing a lot, and he's pushing his limits even as himself. Like I think at that stage he was still kind of somewhat young, but he pushed himself too much, got exhausted, and it kind of opened him to sickness, which he had never been before, so that really hit him hard. And with his abilities, it kind of made him... Was the same thing? I don't know if that was the same thing. Because there was a moment where he got really sick, and he was just unconscious, like he was out for a while. There was another moment where he was sick, and he was, sneezing a lot, and so that's kind of where his freezing breath came in the first place. So that there was two different instances, I think. I don't remember if that's the same episode or not. No, because Chloe had... There was an episode where he got sick. I don't remember why. But yeah, he then... That's where his freezing breath came from in that episode. It doesn't remind me of that, but it was much more dangerous for Jordan, unfortunately. And yeah, I feel so bad for Clark. Like he had to first put his son through having to clear the kryptonite from his system in the first place, and that I don't even know how long that had to have taken. Like it went from the very beginning or near the before Sarah even started, and then it went to before they showed up to the house. So at least 5 minutes, give or take. Jesus, like a little more than that, but still. It wasn't like right after Sarah's performance. It was something more. Sometime it was somewhere in the middle or after Avery's performance, Emily's daughters. But like having to put your own child through that pain because of your genetics and how they're being affected by something that you were hit with, like the guilt and responsibility he had to be feeling. He has to be feeling right now. It was weighing heavily on him when they were getting ready to leave, and he was apologizing to Jordan about that he didn't ask for these powers, and that he's sorry that what he is has affected his life, and saying I love that Jordan says I didn't, but you didn't ask for what happened to you either. Oh, Jonathan, Jordan, you're I love you guys. I love you all. I love the whole family. Like even the moments with Jonathan having with Lois, comforting her about what happened with Jordan, and standing up to Sam. Like even though I understand where he's coming from, and I'm siding with Sam a bit. Jordan standing up to Sam in the first place is like heartening, I think is the right term. Like, I don't know, he's a brave kid. Not that he should be, not saying that, he should be scared of Sam, but it's just like, a lot of times, not always, but like the grandparents kind of held at a higher esteem in some sense than the parent is. You know, they see them differently. So having to stand up to your grandfather like that, and you know, to go to the point of calling them a coward for what they're doing, as hurtful as it is, and as again, I'm aside a little with Sam. It's commendable that Jonathan did that. I feel bad for Jonathan because he was scared for Jordan as well. Like whenever whenever they said that they didn't know what was going on, or they didn't know how long it would take for him to be better, and that that it was affecting him differently. He was like, "What's going on?" Like, well, what do we do? He felt helpless and scared. Excuse me, scared for Jordan. And what's crazy is that not only was Jordan like it was affecting him, he was like giving off a radiance of not radiance. Sorry, like it was there was a radius of how the cold was spreading from him, and like there's something in my throat. But that was crazy in itself. I'm wondering like if he went untreated, would it like start freezing everything around him? Like just like hypothetically, if it were to go to the point where he died, would it continue to get worse? And well, it's more like I don't think it would. I think it would just kind of be at the point where it's at. But like up to the point before he died, like would it just kind of get worse and worse and freeze things around him? Like when he sneezed, it would freeze things instantly, obviously. But like would it just like because again he was giving off freaking cold, made the room cold. So I'm wondering if it would have got. Anyway, it's not really. It doesn't really matter. But I was just curious. I was wondering. I do like that they mentioned that Clark was a great reporter and that Lois was bringing him in on the situation or on the investigation since he's no longer coaching because the season's over. Well, that and the boys are no longer. I don't know if the season's over actually, but the boys aren't in it right now. They're taking a break from football. But I'm liking that they're using that aspect of Clark as well, not just not just the fact that he's Superman and that he's they like because they use the parts of Clark whenever they make him Goofy Clark, and I love seeing Goofy Clark because Tyler Hackman does a fantastic job for portraying that. But we don't really see Reporter Clark too often. Not even really. They said I can recall in like the animated shows. Admittedly, I haven't read a whole lot of comics, but I don't know about him, about showing that part of that side of him, like the reporter side of him either. But I do like that they kind of brought that up a bit. I'm worried for Lana. I mean, that's why she would. Like Edge knows about what's going on. Like he knows that she's feeding information to Lois. So I'm wondering what he's planning to do to Lana, or I mean. Because she shut down the offer, so I don't know what that's going to entail. He already given Kyle the procedure, or put Kyle through the procedure. So I'm not sure what his plan is for Lana now. A little worried about her. Hopefully maybe she just won't go there anymore. Maybe she's just done. But like, I mean, if he uses the thing that Kyle, whatever Morgan Edge, because I'm assuming he had something before. He had Lois's pager. I'm assuming he had a way to like summon the others. I don't know. What's worrisome is that now that Kyle's affected, he could use that to go after Lana and possibly even the rest of their family. And if Kyle were to come to, he'd feel terrible. Like he'd be so broken. He's already like trying to pick himself back up and put himself together. Jesus. Like if that were to happen, I hope he doesn't die, man. Like I can't. I don't. Like trying to protect his family. Like I don't know. I feel like that they could go that route. I'm hoping. Well, obviously we see Sarah's having issues with Jordan now. I mean, she doesn't have. She kind of has reason to be upset with Jordan. He did just kind of bail on her whenever she knew that she has she has issues going on in front of people and performing, which is a very valid fear, and unfortunately he couldn't really do anything about it. Like he wanted to be there, but like it would not have gone well, and he wouldn't have even been able to. I don't know if he'd be able to make it there, but he can't tell her that, or at least it's risky to tell her, especially right now. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's better to tell them. Should they tell the whole family? Minus the youngest sister. I can't remember her name. I said Zoe before, and I don't think it is. And I forgot what it was now. And he's 100% better now. Like there's no trace of a sickness. Maybe you get to say he was sick and was vomiting. I don't know. And it was a 24-hour flu, or he can stay home and be sick for a few days. I don't know. I mean, it's not like the biggest issue we have to go to worry about right now. I just feel bad for Sarah and for Jordan because someone that he really cares about and he doesn't want to hurt her. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe should they tell them? I don't know. And then Jonathan, he took after the situation with the RV, he did end up taking some of the solo weapons from, if not all of them. I don't think he took all of them, but he took some of the solo weapons from John's RV, and luckily he did because he was able to at least take care of Emily and the other guy. I wonder if Morgan Edge is going to be somebody that we know. I wonder if I should know that, recognize that symbol. I don't recognize the symbol personally. Trying to the only one initially the suit, whenever he had the suit, I'm like, did he give himself powers or something? Because it just seemed like a very Kryptonian, almost like a not kind of general, kind of just ruler style, but it definitely didn't seem normal attire, Earth attire, I guess. I don't know. It just seemed like very alien superiority kind of outfit. I don't know. What's his plan? Why did he want Superman there? What does he want to do? What do you want? I hope he doesn't try to implant a sentience into Clark here. I don't. You just want to talk to him. He's like, hey, but maybe you just want to let Lois know that he's Kryptonian. So now that she knows I'm Kryptonian, she will leave. She can be afraid of me or something. I don't know. I don't know what his plan is. I doubt it's that. Simply that. I don't know, guys. I almost wish it was on. At least I have an idea of what we're dealing with. But anyway, guys, for now, that's it for Superman and Lois. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to stick around for next week's episode, I think there's going to be an episode next week. There should be. Go ahead and click the subscribe button. Be notified whenever that goes up. Patreon for any other stuff we have going up. And that's about it.